Three in particular have always intrigued me. Abraham Lincoln, probably because I grew up in Illinois. John Brown is one of my all-time favorite characters. And John Wilkes Booth. That's kind of a weird little triumvirate there, but that would be interesting to have sit down and have lunch with those three and me. That would be kind of interesting to me. I've always liked history, but what really triggered it was an event I attended when I was in junior high school. It was 1958, and I was taken by my teacher to the centennial, the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln-Douglas debates, and the featured speaker was Carl Sandburg. Now, Carl Sandburg is a famous author who's written biography of Abraham Lincoln, and that really triggered my love for this history and the Civil War. What appeals to me most is the stories that haven't been told. There's 55,000 books on Abraham Lincoln, for instance, so I don't need to do a book on Abraham Lincoln, but a much less known character that lived around here. He was born in Summit Point. His name is Ward Hill Lemon, and he was Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard. And I not only have written 2 books about him, one that I wrote, one that he wrote that I edited. I think most of us can tie into the Civil War with a relative. I have a great uncle who was my grandfather's brother who fought in the Civil War, for instance. And a lot of people, even though they say my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War, it wasn't that long ago. And so it was my great-grandfather, it wasn't my great-uncle, it wasn't 8 generations ago. It was, people can relate to it because of the closeness that we have to our own descendants that fought in it. My first book came out in 2006. The Perfect Steel Trap, Harper's Ferry, which we have right here. And I now have 37 books in print, mostly historical fiction, but I have some nonfiction books, and I have 2 children's books. Well, I kind of just stumble upon them when I'm talking to people. They alert me to different things. A lady yesterday said that she had a book idea for me, and she gave me that idea. I learned about a soldier yesterday who I'd never heard of before, so I was going to think about doing some investigation about him, because his story I don't think has ever been told. So that's mostly where I get my inspiration. I started going to the market during COVID just because I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a really good way for the community to find out about local products and that. And as I got to talking with Duncan and his wife about the market, I decided that it might be a good place for me to post my books online and sell a few books. Well, obviously I have some new readers, some people that weren't familiar with my work, and so that's always good. I always like to get new customers, and as they read my books, and perhaps they'll tell somebody else about my books, and they'll know that they can buy them at the market too, so that's always good. Well, my next book is about someone that most people probably have never heard of. His name is Henry Uelke. Henry Uelke is an immigrant from Transylvania, Prussia. And he's in a painting. The painting depicts the room that President Lincoln was in after he was shot at Ford's Theater. It was a room in the Peterson House. And there's a painting of all these members of Congress, members of the family, Lincoln's family, and this immigrant from Prussia. And I wondered what he was doing in that room. So he was an eyewitness to the last hours of President Lincoln, and that's what the book is about.